Hello everyone and welcome to the module Water Technology. In this module, we are going to discuss about the introduction of water technology, sources, importance, and why treatments are required, and what are all the types of water, that is hard water, soft water, and saline water, etc. And what are all the disadvantages of hard water in industries, and how to overcome these issues. Why the treatment methods are required, the external treatment methods, internal treatment and desalination and domestic water treatment process. This module having four lectures. Lecture 1 deals with the introduction, hardness of water and disadvantages of hard water in industries. In the lecture 2 deals with the softening of hard water using external treatment method, especially demineralization process. Lecture 3 deals with the internal treatment process, namely colloidal conditioning, carbonate conditioning, phosphate conditioning, and calgon conditioning. Lecture 4 deals with the desalination process, that is reverse osmosis and electrodialysis process, and also along with domestic water treatment process. So first we would like to see about the introduction of water technology. There are different water sources are available, that it is surface water and underground water. A person can survive without air for about 3 minutes, and a person can survive without water can survive about 3 days, and the food they can survive the 3 weeks, about 3 weeks. So this is the very important. All we are using water. Okay, so these are all the importance. Without water we cannot do anything. So how the water get polluted? So the water pollution is the contamination of water bodies by adding any chemicals or solid matters or microorganisms, etc. So here you can see there are two images over here. One is the turbid water and another one is clean water. And if you see this water, and there are some physical impurities present in the water, that is some dispersed particles or colloidal particles or suspended impurities are present in the water that leads to the contamination. So in order to avoid, so this is the water, so it is removed from the contamination. So this is looks like a clean water. Whether it is a safe water, again the question comes, and definitely the answer is no. Okay, so whether all colorless water are pure water, the answer is again it is no. Why? Because there may be some chemical contaminations or some microorganism contaminations may present in the water. So there are three major types of impurities present in the water generally, and one is physical impurities, and another one is chemical impurities, and third one is biological impurities. In the physical impurity, we can classify it by two types. One is suspended particles and colloidal impurities. The suspended particles, which indicates clay, sand, and decayed vegetables and animal matters, etc. What this causes? It makes the water turbid. And the next is colloidal impurities. The finely divided clay and silica, coloring matter, waste product, complex proteins, amines, all these things comes under the colloidal impurities, which causes the impact color and odor and taste. So these physical impurities. The next one is chemical impurity. Chemical impurity, which contains two different categories. One is dissolved salts and dissolved gases. If it is dissolved salts, all we know about salts, right? Dissolved salts in the sense it is a combination of anions and cations. So it is dissolved salts may be chloride and sulfates, bicarbonate and carbonate salts of calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium, etc. Example, calcium chloride, calcium sulfate, calcium bicarbonate, calcium carbonate, etc. Similarly, magnesium carbonate, magnesium sulfate, magnesium chloride, etc. salts, which makes the water hard. And another one is the dissolved gases. The dissolved gases that may be due to the dissolved oxygens or carbon dioxide or hydrogen or sulfide gases. These causes the oxygen accelerates the rate of corrosion as well as the bad odor, acidic in nature, all these things will happen. And the third one category, the third type of impurity is bacterial impurity, that is microbiological impurity. That is a human pathogenic microorganisms like bacteria and fungus. Among all these impurities, physical impurities can be removed through the filtration process, and microbiological impurities can be removed through the boiling technique. Two different types of water, namely called hard water, and another one is soft water. What is by hard water? Hard water, it does not produces lather with soap solution, and soft water which is free from calcium and magnesium ions. Especially these two ions like calcium and magnesium are responsible for hardness. The hard water is not to be used anywhere, soft water to be used. Why hard water is not to be used? Again, the question arises. So there are some disadvantages of hard water in industries that we are going to deal with. Okay, so look at this. Here we have disadvantages of hard water in different industries. We are going to deal with different industries, namely textile industries, laundries, sugar industries, beverages, and pulp industries, etc. What will happen in the textile and dyeing industries? In textile industries, actual specification required for the textile industry is that the water should be free from iron and manganese salts, and also it is free from calcium and magnesium salts. If it is present, if the excess of calcium and magnesium, the water becomes hard water. So what are all the disadvantages faced in the industries? They produces colored spots on the fabrics, and also they participated in basic dyes and decrease the solubility of acidic dyes. So the dyeing will not be the uniform. And the second one is laundries. So in laundries, we know that hard water does not produce lather with soap solution, and soft water, it produces lather with soap solution. Laundries, it mostly deals with the soap solutions, and the specification required for laundries is it should be free from iron and manganese, and also it should be a soft water. If we use a hard water, what will happen? If the hard water used increase the consumption of soaps and detergents, in fact, some gray shaded to the fabric. And the next is in sugar industries, the specification required is that it should be free from sulfates and alkali carbonates. So if we use hard water in sugar industries, they cause difficulties in crystallization of sugars will happen. Okay, so if in similarly in beverage industries, free from alkaline salts is required. The specification required for the beverage industries, it should be free from alkaline salts. This will neutralize the fruit acids and destroy the taste. In case if we are using in the pulp industries, what will happen? The specification required is it should be free from iron and manganese salts and free from hardness and free from silicon, etc. Things are required, especially for the pulp industries. So if we are using hard water in industries, what will happen? Definitely it affects the color and brightness of the paper, and it increases the ash content of the paper, and it produces crack in the papers, right? So these are all the disadvantages. How to overcome these problems? So now we can clearly understand that hard water is not used in the industries. So soft water to be used. So how to convert hard water to soft water? That is, before that, if you are going for a drinking purpose, water used for drinking purpose should meet some criteria and standards for the drinking water. So some of the parameters and standards were suggested by Indian Council of Medical Research, that is ICMR, and another one is World Health Organization, right? So in which you can see the table over here, right? So here the color, that is in terms of units, this is A is the minimum level and B is the maximum permissible limit. And ICMR propose, this will vary from country to country. ICMR is an Indian body, and WHO will recommend by the worldwide organization. And color, it should be minimum 5 and maximum 25. And also when it comes to turbidity also minimum level is 5 and maximum permissible limit is 25. When it comes to pH, the WHO recommended is 7 to 8.5, and the similar recommendation is given by the ICMR. And the total hardness, that is minimum level is 125 ppm and the maximum level is 350 ppm. Similarly, there are different ions or how much level should be present for the drinking water purpose. So we need to meet out all these criteria before drinking. So let's see some more examples. If we use hard water, what are all the disadvantages will happen in day-to-day life? So scale and sludge. This is the most important disadvantage. Where scale is nothing but the hard and adherent coating due to the presence of the salts like magnesium bicarbonate and magnesium hydroxide, calcium bicarbonate, and calcium sulfate. These salts are called as scale forming substances. Sludge is nothing but the loose and slimy precipitate. This will non-adhering precipitate due to the presence of salts like magnesium chloride, magnesium sulfate, magnesium chloride, and magnesium carbonate. Right? So these scale and sludge schematic representations are given here, and scale is the inner layer, that is a strong layer, that is strong adherent precipitate which is deposited inside the layer, okay, inside the boilers are called. And the sludge is the loose precipitate which can be deposited at the bottom of the layer or top of the layer. And you can see some of the examples of scale formation. See this pipe. There are some salt depositions over the inside the pipeline, and also here untreated and this is treated. This is untreated is the scale formed substance, and this is cleaned one. Similarly, you can see few more pictures over here. And this is the sludge formation. Already we know that sludge is the loose precipitate, and this loose precipitate can be deposited at the bottom of the layer or top of the layer. So what is the remedy for this? So hot water is not to be used, so it is reflected in the red color, and soft water can be used, so this can be advisable, so this is given in the green color. So how to convert hot water to soft water? This process is called softening process. So if you are making the soft material into hard material, so that process is called hardening process. Similarly, the hard water should be converted into soft water. This process, the conversion of hard water to soft water, this process is known as softening process. These can be achieved by two treatment process. So one is internal treatment process and another one is external treatment process. So in detail, in the next lecture, we will discuss about the complete what is internal treatment process and what is external treatment process. So thanks for watching, and if you have any queries, please comment on this. Thank you.